Without question, Lake St. Clair is a world-class smallmouth bass fishery, but we all know the fish aren't stacked everywhere. They have preferences and wander depending on the time of year. With that said, I can best examine those preferences from the lake bottom. Jacques Cousteau once said, "The best way to observe a fish is to become a fish." And that's the concept I embraced since day one with Hook and Look. Deliver viewers informative fishing content, but add a unique underwater perspective, because seeing is believing. With that said, on television, you only have a scheduled amount of time to share it. So I thought it would be cool to produce some extended underwater videos with perhaps a little more behind the scenes viewpoint. This way, you too can experience our underwater exploration as it happens and see the work involved and how we go about it. First, we wouldn't be able to do what we do without communicating. Communicating between divers, communicating to the boat topside, as well as communicating with you, the audience. I'm grateful to Ocean Technology Systems, who has provided us with their full-face masks and wireless communications since Hook and Look's inception. These Aquacom transmitter receivers convey by way of an underwater transducer, similar to our fish finders.
Can you hear me?
Yes, Dad, I can hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I'm going down.
All right, Dad, go right ahead.
You guide me and tell me if I need to go right or left.
It looks like you're going right down the line like you're supposed to.
10-4.
The purpose of this particular St. Clair dive was to collect post-spawn smallmouth footage in early July during the annual mayfly hatch. I had previously caught some nice fish along a cabbage line that I was swimming towards at a depth of around 8 to 10 feet. So my son Danny remained topside and followed close behind me, keeping a watchful eye and guiding my direction when needed.
The visibility seems pretty good. The bottom is mostly sandgrass with a little eelgrass. I haven't seen a fish yet. Well, there's a smallmouth. An inch and a half long.
That's a real doozy. Well, you're definitely heading in the right direction. You should be finding them. Hopefully you do soon. Do you see the weeds yet at all?
I'm not seeing big balls of weeds. I'm going through sandgrass and eelgrass. I'm going to go shallower, Danny.
Okay, keep going shallower then.
Are you right on my tail?
Yes, I am, Dad. I'm directly behind you, probably about 10 feet.
Oh, okay, hold on, I got a fish. A nice smallmouth. I'm looking for bugs. There's another smallmouth.
It's typical that when we find one, there's usually more around. And I was confident that there would be a bigger concentration of fish when I reached the juice.
Am I heading in the right direction?
You're going just fine, Dad. It looks like you're right on the path again.
Visibility is pretty darn good. It has a little milky to it, but it's good. Now in the area where you see scattered cabbage. Oh my God, there's a giant smallmouth. I mean a giant. He's spooky, he wants to stay away from me. I get a little closer to get a little better picture of him. But he is looking. I'd say it's at least a 6-pounder.
Wow, that's huge.
I'm going to run out of gas before I can catch up to him.
Hey, Dan, make sure you start going to your right if you can. You're going to start going in other people's fishing path.
Okay. I was running out of gas anyway.
There you go, Dad. You can keep working, left. If you keep going straight, this guy's working up that weed line. He's going to go over the top of you in a little bit if you keep going right.
There's a little goby going through the grass. I'm not seeing any bugs yet. I don't know if I'm going to see any.
I was hopeful, but it was unlikely that I would see any mayflies emerging from the bottom during the daylight hours. Mayflies typically emerge around dusk.
There's a 3-pounder. And there's 2 more of his buddies.
I may not have seen any bugs, but I knew when I reached the juice of that cabbage line, I would encounter a group of smallies, and there were definitely some good ones.
I got one about 4 pounds right in front of me. This is awesome. They're hanging around too. I'm getting a lot of footage here. 3 of them in my screen.
That's good. Keep taking it.
Definite usable stuff. There's a ton of fish here. I look here, I see fish. I look over there, I see fish. I look over there, I see another fish. Awesome. They're just relating to that cabbage edge.
Isn't that how it always goes, too? You fish all day, you only catch a few, and then you get down below and there's tons sitting there.
They live here, that's for sure.